Hello, it's been a beautiful summer day here in Sedona, Arizona, and today I decided to do a video on the cost of living in Sedona because I got a lot of people calling me and they're asking me how much does it cost to live here, and it's kind of expensive, but I'm going to do in this video the lowdown of how much you can expect to pay for stuff if you're thinking of moving or retiring or even buying a second home here in Sedona. So stay tuned and I'm going to give you the lowdown on cost of living, everything here in Sedona. So my channel is Living in Northern Arizona, where I talk about everything you would need to know about living in Northern Arizona in case you're thinking of moving here, in case you're deciding where you want to live. Is it going to be Phoenix, Tucson, or Northern Arizona? The lowdown on everything there is to know if you're new here, and if you're not new here, welcome back. I would appreciate it if you hit the like button because that helps other people who are looking for this type of information to find the video. And also, if you would subscribe and hit the notification bell, you will know every time I upload a video to my channel about the topic of living in Northern Arizona. Now, I am a real estate agent here in Northern Arizona. My name is Dickenson. I sell homes, property, condos, anywhere in the northern part of the state, but I primarily work in Sedona, Verde Valley, which is Cottonwood, Cornville, Flagstaff, and even Prescott Valley, and some of the other northern Arizona towns. If you're interested in finding out about real estate, I have people calling me every single day, calling, texts with questions, maybe want to get set up on a drip, on seeing homes for sale. So if you're interested in moving here and you're in the early stages, or even ready to go next month, go ahead and give me a call. Also, I'm going to start putting a link to my calendar in the description in some of these videos. So if you want to just go ahead and schedule a time where we could do a phone call or a Zoom, that would be great too. But whatever it is you need to know about Northern Arizona, just realize we got your back here, and I hope you enjoy the video. Okay, so when you talk about cost of living here in Sedona, I'm going to say it is one of the higher places to live in the state. So there is a cost of living index that I actually see this on bestplaces.net all the time, where they do a ranking. The average for the United States is 100. So that gives you a little bit of a relative amount. So if you're higher than that, you're higher than the average. If you're lower, then you're lower than the average. So the average for the United States is about 100. Say you're in Phoenix, the average might be 102, 103. Of course, different areas are different in Phoenix, right? So if you're in Verde Valley, which is neighboring to Sedona, very low 100, like 102.7, I think is Cottonwood. So that means you're just slightly above the average of the United States, and even maybe a little more than Phoenix. Now, I would like to think of Sedona being about similar to Scottsdale. So if you're familiar with Arizona, Scottsdale is one of the more expensive places now near Phoenix to live. So in fact, there is the cost of living index for Sedona is 142, and I believe the cost of living index for Scottsdale is very much the same. So the biggest factor in the cost of living, what drives that up, of course, is the price of real estate. Homes are very pricey here. I'm going to give you the median price of a home is close to $800,000, but it's kind of hard to use that as a judgment. So I'm going to give you a better example. Now, of course, this is summer 2022. Real estate prices fluctuate greatly all the time, so just keep that in mind. But here in Sedona, it would be very difficult for you to find anything lower than $400,000, say. So a lot of the townhomes and condos that are like a 2-bed, 2-bath condo with maybe a little patio, that will run you about $450,000. You know, if you get a beat up one, it could be less. Undesirable area, maybe less, but that's about right. A lot of the HOA fees with those are about $195 to maybe $295 a month. Of course, it goes up. I know of a condo complex where the HOA fee is pushing $800 a month, which is nuts if you ask me. And considering if they're paying your utilities maybe, but you know, they're not. They've got very basic amenities, so that's very high. But in a rule of thumb, I'm going to put the HOA fees for $200 to $300 a month on a townhouse or condo in Sedona, so budget about $450,000 for that. And of course, it can go up if you get one in the Arroyo de Seco, I think that's the name of it. it's you're going to be 800,000 for a nice townhome. So it will vary, but that's a good rule of thumb. Now, for a single family home, for you to find a single family home less than $700,000 right now will be difficult. Now, I want to say it's impossible because occasionally I see them coming up in the 600,000 range. Those are usually the smaller ones needing some updates, maybe a 2-bed, 2-bath, 1,200 square foot. Again, not bad, especially if you don't mind prettying it up, maybe just a couple coats of paint, prettying up the kitchen. You can have a very nice place to live. Now, things I would consider move-in ready with a decent amount of space, that's going to put you in the high 700, 800, and of course all the way up to 2 or 3 million for something nice here. There are homes in the $5 million range. So I would say it would be great if you had a budget of 1 million to 1.3 million, say, if you want to buy a decent home with a decent amount of space, you know, say 2,000 square foot with 3-bed, 2-bath on a nice lot and well done. That's about what I would budget. Not that you can't find anything less than that, but that's a good rule of thumb. So now other things, for example, gas. Now, weird as this may sound, Sedona is one of the cheapest places in the state to buy gas. I just paid $4.49 a gallon, which is absolutely absurd that I could say that it's cheap, but I was in Phoenix last week and I paid $5.20 a gallon. So comparatively, Sedona is one of the cheaper places in the state to buy gas. Weird, I know, I don't know how that happens. And again, for me, saying $4.49 a gallon is cheap is just mind-boggling, right? So groceries, let's get to groceries. A lot of the grocery stores here have a lot of organic. People are into the healthier food. So you're going to have a better quality of groceries, and because of that, you're going to pay more. So if I'm at the grocery store looking for, say, a ribeye steak, now I don't mean to offend any of you vegans, but I do like a good steak now and then. If I had a decent sized ribeye, I could pay, you know, 18, 20 bucks for ribeye steak, which is, again, seems crazy, but I've gotten used to it. Produce very expensive. Half gallon ice cream, which I'm almost totally cut out ice cream. I mean, I love it, but I'm trying to eat healthy. Hard to get that for under $5 for a half gallon of ice cream. Of course, they've made those smaller lately. Healthcare, you know, it's going to be about the same as everywhere else. There are not a whole lot of doctors here, so chances are you're going to be traveling to Cottonwood or Flagstaff. You're going to pay similar prices that you do here throughout the state, and hopefully you've got some kind of a healthcare coverage. I, as a self-employed person, have a terrible time getting good health insurance, and it's super expensive. But a lot of you will be retired if you're thinking of moving here to Sedona, because we do get a lot of retirees here. Other thing like utilities, I'd say utilities are not bad at all. For my water, pay 20 to 30 bucks a month. I'm on a septic, so I don't pay a fee for that. Every, 15, 20 years, you'll want to have your tank pumped. That could cost you $400 or $500, but for the most, I'm not paying anything for sewage because I'm on a septic. Okay, so for garbage, I have to have private garbage collection, and I pay $75 a quarter, so that comes out to about 25 bucks a month, where I get garbage collection and recycles, but the recycles only come every other week. So again, utilities not bad. Now, electricity, I have solar, so I pay very little. I actually have purchased solar, but I am on a loan. My loan is about $120 a month, and a lot of times I will have zero electric or like a negative 20. Occasionally my balance will be negative 60, but in the winter time where I'm using more electricity, I will occasionally get a bill for, $40 to $60. That's about the most I ever pay for electricity on solar. Now, before I got the solar panels, I paid about 200 bucks a month in the winter time, and not that much in the summer, because the winter is where we're getting most of the power use on the heating. A little bit in the summer, maybe 100 bucks, but again, I've had solar panels for 2 years, so I can't give you a great estimate on that. So if you're going out, there are not a lot of places where you have to pay to go out. I mean, the restaurants here seem extremely expensive. If I'm going out with my girlfriend, we have maybe one drink and a nice meal, it's going to be about 70, 75 bucks, which again seems outrageous, but that's about what it is for a decent lunch. Now, there are some fast food places, but they are closing down like crazy because we can't get anybody to work for these places, because housing is so expensive. So like for instance, the Wendy's just closed. There's no Wendy's here. There's McDonald's uptown. There's a couple Filiberto, which is like a Mexican style, and a Subway if you want cheap food, but there are again a lot of very high scale restaurants. Now if you're into shopping, you can pay through the nose in some of these spiritual centers. So you just got to be careful. Not everything is super expensive. I can go to some of the crystal shops that are very reasonably priced, but if you want to go to the big touristy ones like Crystal Magic, you know, you're going to pay for a tiny crystal this big, or maybe like this one here, say. This I got for my birthday. This, I bet my daughter got this for, you know, maybe 15 bucks in Tucson, and in Crystal Magic that could be like 75 bucks. So you have to know where you're going to get ripped off and where you're going to pay a reasonable amount. Now, if you're going for a car mechanic, you're probably going to go to Cottonwood. I just picked up my truck that was 2 weeks in a Cottonwood mechanic. Now, that is because of the supply chain issue. The part took about a week and a half to get in, so you have that kind of stuff too. I think that's probably it on all the major expenses that you're going to have living in Sedona. So I hope that helps. Again, if you're interested in moving here, you could give me a call, a text, email, and I will get back to you, because I love it when people reach out and ask me about living here. My best clients are actually from the YouTube videos. So my name's Dawn Dickenson. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you do, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe, hit the notification bell. I post videos every single week about living here in northern Arizona, particularly Sedona, Verde Valley, and Flagstaff. So I hope to see you again, have you come back again next week for my next video.